Imagine a room completely sealed from the inside. A living, breathing person walks in, the door locks, and then they simply cease to exist. That is exactly what happened to 42-year-old businessman Edward Collins. On a cold winter night in 1987, Edward returned to his apartment here, in a massive, isolating brick complex in London. Edward was a quiet man who lived alone. He had no known enemies and followed the exact same routine every single night. He would lock his door, close the curtains, make a cup of tea, and read before going to sleep. It was a strictly predictable, thoroughly ordinary life. And that unremarkable baseline is exactly what makes the physical reality of what happened next so difficult to explain. At around 11:30 p.m., that routine broke. Margaret Lewis, Edward's neighbor, heard a man's voice raised in a loud argument coming from his apartment. Then came a sharp crash, followed by absolute silence. Margaret called the building manager, who hurried up to the 6th floor and knocked. Nobody answered, but the television was still blaring, the lights were burning, and Edward's car was sitting in the parking lot. All signs pointed to him still being inside. But when the manager tried the handle, it wouldn't turn. The door was locked. Specifically, it was locked from the inside. Shortly after midnight, the police arrived to forcefully breach the apartment. This left investigators with a crime scene that was, by all appearances, mechanically impossible to exit. The first step was securing the perimeter. Investigators confirmed only one entrance. Police physically broke a heavy security chain attached from inside. They checked the windows, completely locked. Climbing out meant a fatal drop. With the perimeter secured, they swept the interior volume of the room. They looked for overturned furniture, signs of a struggle, or any trace of blood. They found nothing. The room was perfectly intact. Officers spent hours exhausting every possible spatial theory. They tore through the walls, inspected the ceilings, and searched old ventilation shafts. They found absolutely nothing. This methodical search established one hard fact. Escaping this room through conventional physical means was impossible. The theory of a planned, voluntary walkout was quickly dismantled. Edward's wallet sat on the table, his keys next to a cup, and jacket hanging by the door. With the physical room offering no answers, the investigation shifted from the tangible space to invisible digital data trails. And here, the phone records revealed a timing that didn't fit the quiet evening Edward was supposed to be having. Edward's landline received a call at exactly 11:42 p.m., just minutes after the neighbor heard the crash. The call lasted for precisely 37 seconds, but the number was blocked, and investigators could never trace it. 3 days later, investigators found one more item on Edward's desk, a small business notebook. Most of the pages were filled with standard work notes, but on the very last page, written in unknown handwriting, was a single sentence: "You should never have opened that door." If someone else wrote those words, they somehow left the apartment while the security chain remained attached from the inside. And if Edward was the one who wrote them, he was still nowhere to be found. Decades have passed. The apartment was eventually sold, the investigation went cold, and Edward Collins was never seen again. Plenty of theories have surfaced over the years. Some argue he staged his disappearance to start a new life, while others insist he was taken by someone who knew a dark secret about him. But neither of those theories survives the physical reality recorded by the police that night. The door was chained from inside. The windows were locked. There was no way out. It leaves us with a humbling realization. Investigators can follow every procedure perfectly, systematically eliminate every false variable, and do everything right, and still be left staring into an empty room where reality refuses to provide an answer.